Peace. Thanks for joining me at Hip Hop Vinyl Reviews Episode 2. Yeah, and today we're going to review our first vinyl. And this is something I picked up this weekend. It's released in 2014 by Melting Pot Music. Looks like it's a German label, I want to say. But to be honest with you, I don't know where the fuck Cologne is, and I don't know what German looks like. Yeah, so it's Count Bass D, as we also know him as Dwight Spitz, and this is called The Count in Cologne. It looks like on top it's credits to Count Bass D, Retro Got, Twit One, and Lazy Jones, who you can imagine I've heard of none of them except for, of course, Count Bass D. I don't know, I first heard about Count Bass D probably something like 15 or 16 years ago, and I was aware that he didn't have a huge catalog. At least at the time I couldn't find anything. I know he'd done a couple of collabs with MF Doom a few years later, and I was definitely hip to that. And I just kind of always loved the brother's style, man. He just kind of had a real smooth kind of delivery. I don't want to say careless or unrehearsed, but not over-rehearsed, not over-delivered. You know, real casual and relaxed and soulful. And a lot of times what he rapped about had kind of at least a positive tinge on it. You know, it was never some, you know, just aggressive nonsense rap, you know, which I love sometimes too, you know, but it was a refreshing voice in hip hop. And, you know, also in terms of his production too, you know, sometimes it's hard to tell unless you really read the labels carefully. Sometimes I'm just out to listen to music, but I know he works on various old vintage hip hop machines and synthesizers. You know, he's kind of from what I understand, a personality that's like a little bit of a bohemian, or somebody who's like real grassroots with his music. Definitely not shooting to do anything that's going to be, you know, making a killing. And probably the kind of guy that I would guess can't even make a living off this kind of music. So the fact that he's got vinyls that are out isn't the only one. But when I noticed this in stock, because I like to pick up my vinyls not on the internet, but when I go to actual record stores and wait till something comes in I'm interested and I have a good time just collecting that way. And when I saw this was in stock and I saw the Count was on it, I said I gotta buy it. You know, it's a real short album. We've got side A, the Countro, which is just a real brief instrumental piece that's credited to Count Bass D. After that, you've got Need to Know, which is a song I believe he's got 2 verses on. Retro Got's actually spitting on this thing too. On tracks 3, From Then to Now, and I believe on Avocado at the end. Side B is just instrumentals, everything but the introduction, which was an instrumental itself, and it ends with Boom Boom Pardon, which is a bonus beat. It's real short. I mean, altogether, man, we're talking like both sides, including the instrumentals, 20 minutes of music. You know, not a whole lot for $18 or whatever I spent on this, but it was worth it. Because it's one of those situations where less is more, you know, where you can throw it on and groove to it for a while and listen to the kind of direction, the classic hip hop direction these guys take it with their beats and with their rhymes. Count Bass D, if you never heard of him, I wouldn't be surprised, but if you haven't, I would definitely check him out. You know, it's one of these kind of records where, you know, I'm gonna pull it out every once in a while when I really want to groove to that more mature underground sound that's informed by decades and decades of hip-hop aesthetic. You know, even the introduction, it sounds like he's using an SP1200. If he's not, he's using something that's trying to sound like an SP1200. But everything from the way the bass is filtered to the drums not completely lining up, and I don't want to say sloppy, but funky, you know, and everything from the filter going on and off so you can hear the instrumentation clearly and then not. It sounds like something that was done in an SP and then later had some board work on it. Need to Know is a great track, you know, too clever, but positive and kind of I want to say universal verses, and from Count Bass D, dope production, cool little throw-in sample there. From Then to Now, I got kind of taken back when I heard this Retro Got spitting, you know, but he's got a nice flow. I don't understand a goddamn thing he's saying because it's in another language. Is Cologne in Germany? Cologne's in Germany. I should know this. So, you know, obviously not a native to America, this Retro Got guy's got a nice flow, but I wouldn't have wanted to listen to it for much longer than I did because I don't understand the goddamn language. It's cool that he's on there though, and it adds a little flavor to it. You can tell they were collabing in an organic way and not some phoned in shit, you know? And it shows, and that's why these vinyls are so great, because you see pictures of my man chilling out in Cologne. And even when I purchased this, on the wrap on the front, there was a little note that said, you know, this is real hip hop music, or this is classic or old school hip hop music. There's no download code available. Count Bass D spent a weekend at the Treehouse and recorded this all with us. So, I can imagine the conditions under which this is recorded. Maybe he meets the guy on the internet somehow through his touring. They invite him to come down and do some shit at their place. They do it, they mix it, they master it, they press it up to vinyl. And now I kind of have that intimate experience right here. It's only 10 minutes long in truth, but 10 or 12 minutes long in truth. But if you include the instrumentals, we're talking like 20 minutes of music. So yeah, I would add this on, the Count in Cologne. I would definitely add this on if you're a collector of independent hip hop. It's definitely something that's worth a listen. And as you can hear in the background, it's atypical, the kind of stuff you're gonna hear. And I don't want to say from this camp, I definitely classify Count Bass D in that small sliver of independent artists over the age of 40 that are bringing with them all the knowledge and understanding and aesthetic love for hip-hop, warm music that one that grew up in the 80s and 90s could only have. And they're still putting out records, still putting them out on hard copy so I can have them in my collection, and definitely an add-on. Add this one onto your collection. All right, y'all, I'm coming back hopefully within the week with episode number 3, where we'll be reviewing another brief vinyl, but it's definitely a good one. Like I said, hit me at lovblog@gmail.com. Hit me up. If you want me to hit you up with my address, I'll review your vinyl, but you got to give me the vinyl. Next episode, expect something pretty cool. Hopefully that I can guide some of your purchases and inspire you to go out and support this dying art. Peace.